In a world of roguelites and Metroidvanias, the linear 2D platformer has diminished in popularity, so while I've already previewed 25 games, here are even more new ones, beginning with Anomaly Agent, a cyberpunk action platformer with fluid combat and a time-bending story. This is a pixel art title where you play as Agent 70, having to stop various anomalies from destroying the world, done through the use of melee weapons, hand-to-hand combat and deadly firearms. The action looks sleek, although there's something a little off about the pixel art to me, but it's still one to watch. Development on Iron Corbo Kung Fu Janitor seems to be accelerating, so maybe we will get some sort of announcement soon, where this is a martial arts themed title but set in a post-civilization world and has an environmentalist theme. You play as the titular Kung Fu Janitor, having the seemingly simple task of keeping the streets clean, but when robots suddenly start to act up, it is up to you to find out why. I played a very early version of this, so things would have changed by now, but the combat here is inspired by platform fighters like Smash Brothers, which gives it quite an interesting feel, and with over 50 unique abilities to choose from, provides plenty of variety. It is supposed to be non-linear as well, but the developer stops short of calling it a Metroidvania, but I think it looks unique and awesome and is worth keeping an eye on. This next title also seemingly dropped out of nowhere and quickly shot up the charts in terms of hype, where Strike Force Heroes is a remake of an insanely popular Flash game being remade for a new age. Interestingly, this is level and arena based in structure with a modern military theme, so it's guns and bazookas which you use to destroy your enemies.
Show me your wounds!
Interestingly, there is a class system as well, so you can choose between characters like tank or sniper.
Enemies are gassed.
One with my weapon. Phoenix rising.
Bring it on!
There are also animated cutscenes in between the explosive action sequences and boss fights, where I'm sure that a number of you will appreciate the handcrafted nature of this game. There are increasing difficulty levels for each level in the campaign, with side missions for more unlocks and rewards as well. It also supports a PvP mode and has split-screen co-op support, so it sure looks like a throwback and would be interesting to see its reception. A great-looking 16-bit pixel art platformer is Super Catboy, another action-packed title that does have a little bit of beat-em-up DNA in this, where you have to stop the evil plans of your creator, battling through anthropomorphic dog soldiers in order to do so. There are also run-and-gun elements and what appears to be a very arcade-inspired style of action, similar to games like Metal Slug, where I think it looks fantastic as well. On to the more intense end of things with Windswept, a precision platformer where you control two characters, a duck and a turtle, having to switch between them to use each of their special abilities in order to get through the level. I last covered this when it was on Kickstarter, where the campaign was pretty successful, so I just wanted to officially add it to a themed video just in case you missed it. I think that the pixel art here is fantastic, looking vibrant and simply pops off the screen, where don't let the cute and cuddly look of this game fool you, it can be much tougher than it looks. In fact, the developer did share on Twitter some Kaizo Mario looking levels, so the potential certainly is here. Also, quite interestingly, while the core game requires you to use both characters, the developer did also tease that you can find ways around that and just complete a level with just one character, so there should be plenty to do for speedrunners or if you just want to poke around and to break the game. Unfortunately, this is still a ways off with a 2025 release window, but wishlist the game for now and keep your fingers crossed. This next title made waves on social media recently, since apparently every animation of Scarlet Deer Inn is embroidered and then captured digitally, which seems like a lot of work to me, and I'm not actually sure how it translates into this game, but it's a neat idea for sure and looks very good. This is an adventure platformer of all things, so perhaps not that much action, being more focused on puzzles and exploration, but the Slavic folklore-inspired world sure looks awesome. This next title is a trippy one, which is probably the reason why this is named Acid Knife, coming to us from the developer of Crawl, with a dose of Hyper Demon added in for good measure. You are battling nightmarish creatures and death centipedes in a melting psychedelic void, where the visuals do really distort to quite a large extent, which looks like a challenge to play.
Charge your fortune for basic fillings.
Like Devil Daggers, it appears that enemies have a very prominent weak spot that you must target, resulting in more deliberate side-scrolling combat, but when the world starts to shift and get weird, is where things start getting interesting. One of the most gorgeous in-development pixel art titles is another space opera Episode 1 The Wake of the Giant, one with a fascinating futuristic setting which I cannot wait to explore. Set in the year 2297, in a world reborn from the ashes of nuclear fire, humans now find themselves caught in the middle of a supernatural conflict that will determine the fate of the galaxy. While it isn't quite blasphemous, the pixel art here is absolutely stunning, so this game must be on your wishlist, where it is linear and level based, but somehow has procedurally generated loot and equipment, adding a little bit of RPG element into this game. I'm also not quite sure why this is billed as Episode 1 only, but if there's more to come, I'm already looking forward to it, if only to gaze upon the fantastic pixel art. I'm happy to share a new look at this long in development 2D action platformer named Tiny Thor, named, of course, after the Norse god of thunder, but set in a time where he was still a little kid. You're wielding Mjolnir as you explore the realms of Asgard, going out on epic adventures while still trying to stay alive. The ability to throw and ricochet the hammer is one of the main highlights, used both in combat and puzzles, where if you think that this game looks great, that is because it is from acclaimed pixel artist Hank Nieborg, where they signed with a new publisher and the game should be out relatively soon. I cannot believe that I left out this title the last time around, but it was probably a time and space kind of thing, where this pixel art drilling focused title looks awesome and is a Devolver Digital joint as well. If you know anything about Devolver games, you'll know that the games that they sign do indeed have some special quality to them, so I have full confidence that Pepper Grinder will turn out well, where you can catch part 1 in this video for 25 more games.